Hey there, Taurus. Thank you for checking out this video. This is your weekly reading for June 29th. And this week, you have I think you have a nice, easy week. The first card you have is the Two of Spades, which can indicate that you maybe had some relationship issues, problems in a relationship, not necessarily a love relationship, could have been a business relationship, work relationship, friendship thing type of thing going on there, or it could even indicate that maybe you recently were with somebody, or again it could be any type of relationship, not just love, and they just aren't the person that you thought that they were. Not even in a negative way, just maybe you just thought they were one way and they're another way. They're just kind of totally different. So, like, this card is kind of like confusion around relationships and anything in your life. It doesn't even feel like a really big deal to me, so I'm not going to focus on the card too much. It seems really like kind of background type of stuff going on there. Next card you have is the King of Spades. This is one of the few cards that I'm probably going to do an entire video on, just describing this one card. It carries with it a lot of stuff, a lot of karma and things like that. I've talked about this card a lot in videos. I'm not sure if Taurus has ever received this card or not. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, this card is kind of a big deal when it shows up to for people. One of the reasons I use this deck is because the imagery on the court cards is like dead on for the psychic meanings, and it wasn't created with psychic intent. It was just created by an artist, and that's pretty much it. But the meanings line up so well with what the actual card means. King of Spades, if you look at him, he's in a military uniform there with all those medals. That's what this card represents. It represents having been in a battle in your life. It represents all the responsibilities you've had to take on over the past probably 8 years. I've been saying that for the most part, it seems like most signs have gone through an 8-year cycle of challenges. It's been a very challenging, like, 8 years, pretty much. A little bit longer for some people. And this guy is like, it's like you coming back from that battle, and you having learned from all those battles, and you learning from all those responsibilities you had to take on, and you coming out a lot stronger than you were in the past. It's like I said, it's a card of great responsibility. There's so much that goes on with this card, and it's more about the fact that you've ended up so much stronger and in such a better position, and now for the rest of your life, challenges will be a lot easier for you to handle because nothing will be as difficult as the past 10 years. And plus, you've learned so much. You're going to be using that knowledge now to A, avoid anything that comes up in the future, and B, if you do run into an obstacle, like I said, you'll just blast right through it, because what this guy has had to deal with is like, 1,000 times harder than what will show up in the future. That's what this card says. It's a great card. Like I said, it's a card that I've been studying for a long time and meditating on, because it is one of those really kind of special cards in the deck that doesn't show up too often. Next, you have the Four of Diamonds. I like this card a lot also. It represents the home. It represents all the feelings that you feel when you're at your home. It also represents your financial situation being very stable and kind of protected. It can indicate an increase in your financial situation as well. Sometimes it can be an indirect increase. So if you are married or coupled, it can indicate that your significant other or whoever you are with receives money that benefits you indirectly, or it can also mean that like I say, somebody else can help you financially this week. That's a great possibility for a lot of you, is what I'm getting. But it can also, like I say, it can represent the feelings that you'll be feeling this week, and you'll be feeling all the feelings that you get at your house, like when you're home, safe, secure, comfortable. The list goes on and on. So that is a pretty good message. Next, we have the Two of Hearts, which is the best hearts love card in the deck, really. It represents two people coming together. So it's and it's the highest form. It's like the highest form of love. It's almost like the Lover's card in the tarot. Not exactly the same meaning, just similar. And so if you're not coupled, if you don't have anybody to be with, this card says go out, put yourself out there, and you can definitely get into a relationship. The energy is definitely there. If you are in a relationship, it just means that you will be getting a lot of support from your partner this week. And again, that's pretty interesting because, like I just said, with the Four of Diamonds, the Four of Diamonds can sometimes benefit you and support you indirectly. So from somebody inside of your home, because the four does represent the home. So all in all, a great week. Kind of like I said, the energy feels very mellow this week. The energy feels very kind of, for all signs. I always meditate before I do these readings. For all signs, it just seemed very kind of mellow, nothing too crazy going on. I think that in July is a whole nother story. I think people are going to be working their butts off in July. So I think that's why we're kind of getting a nice break here at the end of June just to gather our energies and get ready for next month.